Chiefs Kingdom? It's Friday. We're about to get all chiefed up. We got a special podcast for that ass. Today, Steve, the Arizona Cardinals have released DeAndre Hopkins. This is the day Chiefs Kingdom has been waiting for.
What?
What's going to happen? What's going to happen, Steve?
I don't know about it, man. We got a big wide receiver room right now, but everybody's been pretty excited about DeAndre Hopkins. That's what everybody's been talking about the whole offseason. How can we trade for this guy? Let's get him on the roster. Him and Mahomes would break the NFL. But, man, we're looking at a wide receiver room that's already carrying Kadarius Toney, MVS, Sky Moore, Richie James, Justyn Ross. I'm forgetting people. I'm forgetting everybody. Yeah, our second-round draft pick.
Second-round draft pick. That's how loaded we are.
Hey, I tried to make a thumbnail for this particular podcast for YouTube, and I couldn't even fit them all on there. I just gave up.
Right. We can't. The idea was going to be we were just going to leave D-Hop off of it and say, can't fit D-Hop. I mean, that's kind of the trend. But a lot of Chiefs Kingdom, Steve, they want to see D-Hop. They think we need the veteran presence. So I guess the question is, will Brett Veach make a play at D-Hop? He can't if D-Hop wants to take a lot of money. The Cardinals just ate $23 million in dead cap because they couldn't even get a trade offer.
Right. Well, we've talked about this a lot. Everybody has. And the thing about it is D-Hop, it all depends on him, right? Like, he has to be willing to take a smaller amount of money just to go chase a ring. That's what it comes down to. And then, on top of that, how do we even free up a little bit of money?
I'm not giving you the finger, Steven.
It's the ring finger.
This is what D-Hop's got to want. He's got to want something. See, I don't have the ring. That means I would sign with the Chiefs for relatively next to nothing. Maybe like a pretzel or something. But yeah, that's what he's going to have to do. If this guy wants anything more than $3 to $5 to $6 million and probably some incentives on a year-to-year deal, he's not going to come here. I fully expect to see D-Hop. This is probably not going to be popular. I expect D-Hop to be in Buffalo by the end of the week.
Yeah, probably. But hey, let's just say he's going to go to the Chiefs. Let's say they pull this deal off some way, somehow. How does he even fit in the Chiefs' offense? Let's talk about that. Obviously, D-Hop goes straight to the X. Like, he's your number one. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that.
And if Kadarius Toney was supposed to be your number one before D-Hop gets here, that means Kadarius Toney's now your two.
Exactly. And then you got a lot of slot guys on our team. You got guys that work best out of the slot, starting with Sky Moore and then Rashee Rice that we just drafted. Also, if Justyn Ross were to make the team, he operates better out of the slot because he's not all that great at getting separation. So that's where he wants to be as well. I mean, I don't know, man. How does that make the wide receiver room more dynamic? How does it make it more crowded, I guess?
It just gets crowded. I think it gets crowded with talent. You almost cannot, if D-Hop wants to take a pay cut to come here, you got to take him. You'd be stupid not to. You can't say, oh, we have too much talent. We won't take D-Hop. D-Hop's only going to be 31 years old. A lot of people are acting like 31 years old is the end of the world. I mean, come on. These guys play at a high level. Jerry Rice was playing at a high level until he was late 30s.
It's not like they're trying to sign him to a big, long, ridiculous contract. If D-Hop were to come in, he's going to play here for a year or two. Let's just get that straight, right? That's what happens with these older guys. And we've got a very, very young wide receiver room that you said is pretty full. So, I mean, what does this say for guys like a Justyn Ross or a Justin Watson or someone like that that's kind of riding that cut line anyway? If D-Hop comes in, whose head's getting chopped?
Richie James.
Right. I mean,
was that Justin Watson? Yeah. We thought Justin Watson would make the roster, and then if you bring in D-Hop, it's now wild card. You have Justyn Ross sitting on the cut line. Everybody's getting, a little wild over John Ross, by the way, over the past. Because somebody mentioned his name on Twitter. But yeah, the thing is, I think D-Hop would bring you, he's going to bring you stability. D-Hop's going to bring you a veteran presence. He's going to be a true X number one for Mahomes, which he's never had. So that in itself is more valuable.
He's going to bring you dead sexiness to the wide receiver room. I mean, if you see D-Hop and Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, Justyn Ross, Rashee Rice, that's dead sexy.
Hey, can I say this? If we get D-Hop, D-Hop's your true number one. Kadarius Toney, he was going to be your true number one. So again, he's probably your number two. But Kadarius Toney is never, like, am I going to be comfortable with him? Because I don't know how much he's going to play. He's never healthy. So you got to have somebody that can be that true number one besides Kadarius Toney. That's what D-Hop would bring. It's going to let Sky Moore continue to develop and work the slot. It's going to let Justyn Ross. I know we give Justyn Ross a lot of crap. Justyn Ross can play, but Justyn Ross has always had trouble in his career throughout college, whenever it was. By the way, did you know Justyn Ross' first college offer was the University of the Kentucky Wildcats, Steve?
Very nice.
Kentucky Wildcats. So that's how far we've been on Justyn Ross. That's how long ago. But Justyn Ross has always had trouble getting open from corners. He does a good job separating from linebackers and safeties, but that goes to his 4.64 speed that he ran at his pro day. That's what I'm saying. So all these guys are primarily out of slot. Can we finally, do you think if they sign D-Hop, do we finally just cut the cord with Marquez? Do we say, hey, we don't like pronouncing your name properly. Are you gone?
That's a possibility. It's like, hey, we called you Marquez. You yelled at us like a child, so you're gone. But no, they do owe him quite a bit of money for what he is. That's just the honest truth about it. And he was picking up at the end of the year and looking a little better. And I think there's potential for MVS in this offense. But yeah, somebody got to go. I mean, if they were to get D-Hop, somebody's got to go.
Right.
And
there's potential for Marquez to be cut. Like the way his contract's set up after the first year, it's basically year-to-year options. So people's brought this up before.
I feel like it was kind of set up for a 2-year, and that third year was the one where they could really, really get him.
It might be more like that. But people have asked us, and we said, no, I don't think you can cut Marquez this year. Like he actually earned himself onto the roster. But if you're going to bring a D-Hop in now.
Well, here's the thing. Do they need to cut MVS? Like you said, they got to earn themselves onto the roster. So who's better than MVS? Who's going to beat MVS onto the roster?
Right. Well, I'm just saying MVS would be the guy you'd have to cut financially. I
don't think so. I think they've got to get Chris Jones restructured. You could kill two birds with one stone right here with that. If you could get a good restructure done, pay him what he wants, but get it done to where this year's cap allows, a D-Hop to come here.
This is the time for Chris Jones, a.k.a. Long Dong Silver, to step up and restructure that contract and get your boy in here. If that's what you want, get him in here. Let's do it.
Slang that big thing, Chris Jones. Get this done.
Is the timing right for the Chris Jones restructure? That's the problem. But before we can get all this taken care of, if Chris Jones would have been restructured already, or maybe he has been in secret talks, but if they're right there with Chris Jones, you have a shot. But I think by the time you get all this done and worked out, somebody could swoop in here and take D-Hop. And is Brett Veach even considering D-Hop? As we said, we have got such a crowded young room. We're trying to get younger in Kansas City. D-Hop is an older guy. He has had some injuries. He's not super, super, super reliable. Let's be honest. Like, he's missed time. But I think that if you have the option to add D-Hop for a reasonable price, you have to do it. It's stupid not. Well, I know people are tired of hearing it.
You just listed all the negatives. But let me tell you some positives for it. He's a veteran wide receiver. That's been the one thing that everyone's been craving. And they're like, hey, even though we have a pretty good wide receiver room, they're pretty young. It'd be nice to have an older proven guy in there. Can D-Hop be a leader enough to make Brett Veach want him to be the wide receiver? That would be my question. Like somebody like a Mike Evans, to me, feels like he'd be more of a leader and more of an example than D-Hop. But I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about how D-Hop is in the locker room and everything. I'll just know recent news where he didn't want to be with Kyler Murray, so he threw a little bit of a fit. But that's just a thing, man. I would do the same thing if I had to play with the 4-foot guy. I would.
Like Austin Powers and Dr. Evil, the little mini-me, that's Kyler Murray. He's the mini-me to the average-sized quarterback. So, of course,
right.
He's always open and he can't see him.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on with the positives. So now we got that out of the way. We got our vet wide receiver. You have your number one. You have him and their injuries and their injury history. So you've got Kadarius Toney, who's proved to be injured more than play in his time in the NFL. And then you turn around and look at Sky Moore. He's had some injuries, not a whole lot. But Justyn Ross, if he were to make the team, we know he has an injury history.
Got an injury history.
I mean, these guys can be interchangeable somewhat. But I feel like D-Hop gives you somebody that you can rely on. That's somebody that people got a game plan around. That's the difference between our other wide receivers and D-Hop. Is right now, game plan for everybody that plays the Kansas City Chiefs is Travis Kelce. 100%.
I opened up saying that D-Hop gives Mahomes a true number one. He doesn't have that right now. They're trying to make Kadarius Toney a number one. Is he a number one? Who knows? We're trying to make left tackles, right tackles. We try this stuff in Kansas City. It does work a lot. Brett Veach is very innovative. It does work, but sometimes it misses. I would go to say, I would almost be comfortable saying that MVS, the experiment with MVS last year, was pretty much a miss. He had 1-2 big games there at the end that when it counted, which I'll give him credit for, he stepped up in the playoffs a lot when we needed it. But on the season as a whole, I think it was a miss. Him and Patrick never had that chemistry. They never did anything right. And look at the difference when Kadarius Toney come over. Him and Patrick were like right on the same page instantly. Like they look like they played forever. So,
but what was the big problem there?
With what?
With Kadarius Toney.
I don't know.
Is he going to play or not? That was the big problem. So it's like, I don't know, man. We've talked about a bunch of different things, but really the way it factors in is there money and is there room in this wide receiver room? So, I mean, if you just talk about that, we've already covered. Chris Jones has got to restructure. Right. You've got to make some money somehow. So this comes down to different things falling into place.
Contract's coming up too.
Right.
I don't know if it'll be this year, but it's coming up. So
But we already mentioned if they get D-Hop, he's a 1 to 2 year guy. He's not going to be here long term. He's 31 years old. It's just like, come here, let's win a ring, DeAndre. That's what it is. But yeah, I mean, MVS could potentially be cut for that. I don't know if they would go that route. Is his contract really hurting them at the moment? I don't know. But can he fit in the wide receiver room? That's another thing that we had talked about. I think that's a yes. I think that I think you can't have too many good of any position. You can't have too many good players in any position. What it's going to do, it's going to up that competition level, and the 6 or 7 that's taken is going to be the best 6 or 7. It doesn't matter who's in that room. So, I mean, it doesn't really change anything. It just means that maybe Richie James better step up his game or he's on the outs. Or maybe Justyn Ross has got to get out there and prove to be what everybody's hyped him up to be, or he's on the outs. I mean, that's what it comes down to, man. But, I mean, if DeAndre Hopkins were to go to the Chiefs, the NFL's going to straight up shit in their pants.
Yeah, I think so, too.
That's what's going to happen.
I think it's straight up, if you make D-Hop happen, it's about a 95% guarantee that you're going back to the Super Bowl. I think at minimum you're going back to the Super Bowl.
And it's not that D-Hop has to go off and have some career year either. It's just he has to just be there and be healthy. Right. Because they have to game plan around him. They have to game plan around Travis Kelce. This is more of a mismatch than even when Tyreek Hill was here.
You cannot double team Hopkins and Kelce both. You can't do it because then you're going to leave KT wide open. You're going to leave Sky Moore. Sky Moore gets open.
Right.
Dude, in his first year, his rookie season, he was open on 60% of all plays. It was one of the highest in all of football. You still got Rashee Rice. We're not even talking about this guy yet. And Rashee Rice is a monster. If you had to look, everybody's like, well, why does D-Hop want to go to KC? Maybe you got to consider he don't even want to go there. This is what D-Hop said. Let me read this to you. What I want is stable management upstairs. What's that sound like? Sounds like
Kansas City, baby.
Chiefs. I haven't really had that the past couple of years coming from Houston and now in Arizona. I want a QB who loves the game. That's Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid just said Patrick Mahomes has come in with a fire this year that he's never seen. This dude just won a second championship, and he's coming in and playing like he's never even sniffed it.
What did we do to deserve him? Chiefs Kingdom, what did we do to deserve Patrick Mahomes?
He wants a QB who brings everybody on board with him. What's Patrick been doing? He takes rookies. He takes people he don't even know down to Texas and throws balls with them all off season.
Right.
He says he wants a quarterback that's not just about himself, but everybody around him. Patrick just said this verbatim the other day when he was talking about his contract. He wants to win. He's not worried about money. He's not the Lamar of the world. And then he says, I want a great defense. A great defense wins championships. That's debatable in Kansas City. We here think Kansas City's got a good, borderline, great defense. It's going to get there, especially with all these young guys. If not this year, is it going to be great? It's going to be great next year. But the way we're building sounds like exactly what D-Hop wants to end his career with. So for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be, if he really wants to dig in and be serious and get him a ring before he retires, this is the place, not Buffalo. And I'm going to tell you why Buffalo's not the place, because they can't beat Kansas City in the playoffs.
Mike, that was a nice, heartfelt reason for DeAndre Hopkins to come to Kansas City. But money talks, baby. And sometimes that's the big dog, and it doesn't, all that sappy stuff about legacy and winning a ring and all this. Sometimes that don't mean a whole lot to these guys. D-Hop's 31. I'm getting ready to retire in a few years. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, but I'm not going to be playing football. So how can I secure myself for the rest of my life and my kids and whoever else that might come along? Like, it's get the most money you can get while you're in the game. So sometimes that's a lot bigger to some of these guys than legacy. It's just the truth. I mean, we're lucky to have somebody like Patrick Mahomes who thinks otherwise, but that's not the consensus. Well, I mean, most guys just want to, they got to get the most cash they can get while they're there, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you how much cash D-Hop's made. In 2013, the Texans paid him $4.3 million. This is just guaranteed cash, like given. This is not counting any kind of, bonuses or anything like that comes along with contracts. This is just straight up cash paid to him. 2014, only $751K. That's his rookie contract. 2015, 1.1. So that's kind of weak too, but you're still in the rookie contract. 1.4 in 2016. So once his rookie contract was over with, he had already earned $7 million. His next contract with the Texans, in 2017, they give him cash that year, $24 million. In the next year, $12.5. The next year, $12.5. Then he goes to Arizona for 3 years, and in 2020 makes $29 million. He makes $13.75 in year 2, and then this year they just give him $15 million in 2022. So that's 2022, and then now they lost the dead cap for $23 million this year. He's been given $115 million in his career.
Mike,
not enough to say,
Mike,
let's go win a ring.
Inflation has crippled us all. He might have to still get a job at Mickey D's to provide for his family along with that.
It's only $115 million in 2023 is only like $75 million in 1995. Come on. But this is what I'm saying. It's all coming down to D-Hop.
Right.
It starts with Veach. Let's be honest. If Veach don't feel like...
Well, I mean, can you honestly say that you think Brett Veach doesn't even entertain this idea, that he doesn't think about it, that he doesn't give it its due diligence? Do you think you just think he just brushes it off?
He may have reached out during the trade rumor process, and maybe Arizona pissed him off a little bit when they didn't want to play ball and this and that.
But now Arizona's not a factor.
Right. But he may have already went into plan B. That may have been of what Rashee Rice was, and now they're content with it. And they've seen him here, and they like the development of Justyn Ross maybe. They like what they see from John Ross and Richie and whoever else, and they think it's deep enough. They don't have to overpay. And let's be honest, there's a lot of Chief fans that love D-Hop, and they want to talk about it, but there's just as many, if not more, are tired of D-Hop. They don't want to hear about it. They didn't even click this video because they're so tired of seeing it. And they don't even care what we got to say. They just don't like D-Hop. They don't want him. They don't need him. And let's be honest, Chiefs Kingdom likes to get cheap. So
no, they don't, Mike. Don't you say that. Don't you say it. That's the stupidest thing you've ever said. They're not cheap. They play the cap better than anybody in the game. They ride that line. The comment section. They said, don't you ever say that again.
They ride the line with Brett Veach.
Yeah. I know. That was what I clarified, actually. I was like, man, right now, since Dorsey, things are right. But
if you don't remember the cheap years with the Carl Peterson era and all that, then you haven't been paying attention, because we wouldn't feel it.
Or maybe you haven't been here long with Chiefs Kingdom. Welcome.
Right. Well, hey, let's move on and talk about something else.
What you got, buddy?
Did you see where Patrick Mahomes named his top 5 quarterbacks of all time?
I did not. So can I guess them?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do that. Guess them. He's got a tie for 5. So you've actually got 6 quarterbacks you can put on this list, because he's got a tie at number 5. He didn't put himself on the list, which I think is a mistake.
But he's a humble man.
I get it.
Patrick Mahomes he's not going to ever do that.
Right. He's not, but Patrick Mahomes is definitely in that top 5. Let's be honest.
All right. So let me go with, is this like his favorite or who he thinks is the best?
It just says his top quarterbacks of all time.
All right. So it's just his list. I'm going number 1, Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, number 1.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers, number 2.
No.
Okay, so this is not his favorite because Aaron Rodgers is his favorite quarterback. He's mentioned that several times. So okay. So okay, let's do this then. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Joe Montana.
No. Montana's number 4.
What the heck? Patty, what are we doing here? All right, let's start all over. Tom Brady.
Yes.
Terry Bradshaw.
Good Lord, no.
Joe Namath.
Who was Tom Brady's biggest rival?
Peyton Manning. He
go.
put Peyton Manning at 2? I was thinking Peyton Manning would be around the 4 mark.
No, it's Brady Manning. Number 3.
I'm going by rings here.
He's not going by rings. If Aaron Rodgers is number 3.
Exactly. See, that's what I don't know what he was doing.
Number 4, I already said was Joe Montana. Who do you think his tie for 5th was? They're both classic quarterbacks. They're not in the game right now, and they would both be considered pretty good quarterbacks, let's be honest.
Johnny Unitas.
No, he didn't go that far back.
I'm just joking. I don't know, man. Don't know.
John Elway. He said John Elway. He said a Denver Bronco, and he tied him up with Dan Marino, which could have been a Chief, by the way, and we decided to go with Todd Blackledge. Good job on the drafting front there. So if you're if you were an outsider looking in, and you said Mahomes is not putting himself on the list, where would you throw Mahomes in on that list?
Numero uno. What are we even talking about? That shouldn't be a question.
Right now?
Well, yeah, he is, and here's the reason why. I'm going by best quarterback. Well, you just said we don't have to go by rings.
Okay,
he's not going by rings.
I agree.
Best quarterback to ever step on the field, Patrick Mahomes.
I would
until someone proves otherwise.
I would let you argue that you could keep Brady at 1 and put Mahomes.
But why?
Just the rings.
Because he won.
Yeah, I mean,
that's cool. I love it. I mean, I'm not like hating on Brady for winning a lot, even though scandals were running amok and they're still going. So it's like, I mean, man, I'm telling you, I know a lot of people won't let that tarnish that Brady stuff, but you can't. How can you overlook it? It's just there. It's got to be the asterisk beside his name. He's the Houston Astros, right? So
Houston asterisk.
Yeah, he's a Houston asterisk. But no, for real.
Who would you take off this list to put Mahomes? If you put Mahomes at 1,
John Elway,
then you're taking. Okay, I think I'm taking Rodgers off this list.
Well, I don't know, because see now here's where you're you can't play both sides of the fence. If you're like me, I said Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback I've ever seen play football, so I got him at number 1. So that means I have to have Aaron Rodgers on my list. Because he's literally a product of Aaron Rodgers. He grew up trying to emulate Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers does things and has done things in his career that other people just cannot do. Granted, he didn't win the rings. He don't have the rings to show for it. But Aaron Rodgers, prime Aaron Rodgers?
Look, Aaron Rodgers don't have much to show for it.
Prime Aaron Rodgers. You mean tell me prime Aaron Rodgers is not a better quarterback? If you take all the other stuff out, is not better than Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers, Papa Rodgers, he's been playing since 1972. He's been in the league for a long time compared to Mahomes. Here's the comparison between the two. Mahomes, 2 Super Bowl wins. Rodgers has got 1. Mahomes, 3 Super Bowl appearances. Rodgers has still just got 1. He's 1 for 1, but he's only been there once. And don't tell me
perfect record. Perfect sweep.
Okay. The playoff win-loss record. Mahomes is 11-3. Rodgers is 11-10.
Michael, this is what I was saying. This is all I'm saying. Is we know that football's a team sport. We know it takes a good team to win. It takes more than just a quarterback to win. It's just all there is to it. Regardless of what the NFL tries to put out there, that the quarterback is the only position in football. We know it takes a good team to win. I'm just saying pure ability, like best to see. That's because you can't, if you just go by all of what you're saying, you can't put Patrick Mahomes anywhere near the top yet, because you're putting in accolades and this and that.
Start a team from scratch, and I couldn't take Patrick Mahomes, and I couldn't take Tom.
And they're all prime. They're all in their prime.
Right. And I can't take Patrick Mahomes, and I can't take Tom Brady. You're taking Aaron Rodgers over everybody else.
Ooh. See, this is a tough one.
Because I'm taking Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning is overall better, right? Yeah, Peyton Manning above him. See, that's my thing. I think if I'm talking just best quarterbacks, I'm not going by wins, losses, and all that stuff, just best pure ability. I'm still going to have Peyton Manning up there towards the top.
And look,
I'm going to have Aaron Rodgers towards the top.
how's this so? It's so hard that we're not even putting Joe Montana there. And how are you not putting Joe Montana right there? He's possibly the best quarterback to ever play when you want to talk about it.
It doesn't matter. Let's just know this. We have the best. We got the best of the best, baby. That's all that matters. And guess what? They're talking about maybe D-Hop coming over here with the best of the best, baby. And then we're going to have a wide receiver room that's just like Mahomes is going to be a kid in a candy shop. Just out there stealing touchdowns, sliding that little butterscotch, that little B-scotch in his pocket. Just stealing the...
Don't hit us with B-scotch.
A Werther's original.
I'm going to tell you right now. Am I excited for D-Hop getting released? Yeah. It gives us something to talk about. Let's be honest. It's Friday. We got the Friday news dump. Arizona just took a dump, and they unloaded a D-Hop. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Honestly,
Chris Jones?
What do you think? No, that'd be the I don't even know, the bowling balls and jump rope. What's realistically? What's a percentage? Put a percentage on it. What's a percentage that D-Hop will be in Kansas City in 2023?
All the hype aside and all the what ifs and how good it could be and everything else. Realistically, I think it's probably a 1 in 4 shot. We're looking at 25% to get this guy. I think that Buffalo has the best chance because everybody lately, it seems like in the last few years, even older people like Von Miller that want to try to win a ring or whatever, even though he already had one, they tend to pick Buffalo because they look at them as a contender, right? Like, oh, they got Josh Allen, they got Stephon Diggs. They got a good defense. Let's go there because they can potentially knock off the Chiefs. Maybe I can be the person that makes them good enough to go ahead and overcome Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So, yeah, I think that's a big possibility. I'm sure there's some other teams out there that we're not considering. I don't think Baltimore would be in the game, but you never know because they're swinging for the fences.
I think
so, yeah.
Have some teams just come out of nowhere. Dallas.
Yeah.
Let's just think about, look,
there will be those teams, but will he consider them?
Denver always wants to win the offseason championship. So what's bigger than getting the,
Right, I understand this, but you got to go back to DeAndre Hopkins' head. Why would he ever want to go to either of those? Unless it's money related. If he wants to win, though, I'm still thinking because he can get the best of both worlds with some team. Buffalo will pay him out the butthole to be there, and he thinks he can compete.
Do you want to win or do you want to win? Because you can win in Buffalo, but you're not going to win. You're not going to championship win like you're going to be in Kansas City. So does he want to go win 10 games or 12 games and lose, or does he want to, win 12 games, get a number 1 seed, an AFC championship, and a Super Bowl ring? That's your
right. Well, that's what it all boils down to, and that's what it's been since day one. But now you have one more obstacle out of the way, and that's the Arizona Cardinals asking for way too much for their guy that they were planning on cutting anyway, obviously.
How stupid does that turn out to look? You could have got rid of this guy for a 5th-round pick, and you wouldn't have. I'm sure they'd have probably still had to eat most of the contract.
Well, that's the thing, Mike. You don't think there was somebody out there that wasn't willing to offer a 3rd or a 4th rounder? Like, they could have got a lot more than you're even thinking.
Well, because the thing is that they still had to take some of the cap. So they still had to take some of the 23. That was what was doing it.
But now they're still taking the cap hit. They're taking the $23 million in dead cap, and they didn't even get anything in return.
Yeah, in reality, you still had to eat the cap anyway, and you didn't get anything. So,
yep. Sucks to be the Cardinals.
They're a horribly ran franchise. Let's just be honest. The Cardinals,
whatever. They drafted Kyler Murray. They know what they're doing down there in Arizona.
Kyler Murray, the greatest. Who's their GM? Monty? Their GM's Monty Austinfort.
Monty Python.
Boy, that's a winner right there. Like, I'm sure they'll put a good team on the field with old Monty Austinfort. Get out of here.
Man.
So, okay, well, right before we close this off, let's give everybody a little treat. If DeAndre Hopkins signs with the Chiefs and we take 7 wide receivers, who are we taking?
Oh, okay. Let's do this. Put it on. DeAndre Hopkins.
I'll agree. That's 1.
Kadarius Toney.
I'll agree. That's 2.
Guy Moore.
I'll agree. That's 3.
Unpopular opinion. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
I'll reluctantly agree that's 4.
Rashee Rice.
I'll agree that's 5. And now we have.
This is where it gets hairy. This is where it gets hairy, and this is where I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna do it. Justyn Ross is gonna make the 53-man roster.
Number 6.
Yes, sir.
I'll give him. I'm with you. I'll give Justyn Ross at this point in time. I will give Justyn Ross, a 7, one of the 7 wide receivers if they take 7.
You gotta take out all the
6. You're taking Justyn Ross too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's cool to have Justin Watson around, old reliable. Like we know he'll do this or that, but there's no boom with that.
Hey, you do realize that he was firmly on the cut line when we didn't have D-Hop, but now that we got D-Hop, he's on the squad, baby.
No, he's still on the cut line. But I'm just saying, because I'm sitting here thinking, because if you have someone like D-Hop along with Kadarius Toney, MVS, Sky Moore, you have more room to take a boomer bust guy. You don't have to worry about having, a mediocre receiver that can catch a punt.
No, I just tried to make you, seem like you were crazy.
Tricking
me.
I
think that's what does it. To me, to have D-Hop, you have the true number 1. You have a little bit more reliable.
Now you can take your shots.
Now you can take your shot with your Justyn Ross. And if he gets injured, guess what? You're gonna have 2 or you're gonna have in the practice squad.
And you know what I would do? You know who I would take as the 7th if I was Brett Veach?
Who?
I would still take Jerry Neely.
God, you're getting wild.
No, I'm not. Because go ahead, Justin Watson, I'm sorry, man. You did good when you were here, and we appreciate it.
I don't waste the roster spot at wide receiver. I'll take Jerry Neely as the running back.
Exactly. Well, no. I mean, he can do both. It don't matter what he's listed on the roster. He can go out and play any position. They can go out and put him at linebacker if they want to.
We'll take 4 running backs, and I'll go ahead and take him and put him in the running back that way and take 7 full wide receivers.
Right.
That's how I would do it. I would go ahead and just say, screw Clyde and let's just move on.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it all plays out, baby. That's all there is to it. Thanks for being here with us today with this extra little podcast for that ass. If you're new to the channel, appreciate you being here. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, and we'd appreciate it quite a bit. See you next time.
See ya. Don't get hard.
You're hard.
Cause aside from my soul,